Hey folks, it's another episode of Bench Squat and Dessert here with Melinda.
From Simple Sensibility.
And we're going to go over a couple of topics as usual. Let's just get into it. So Hardee's, I saw in an article, Hardee's is going to test two plant-based menu items at the store, you know. I'm a little surprised at first, but then I was like, this is kind of a big market thing now. So, like, of course, other companies are going to try to get in there. Even fast food. It's a Beyond Burger and what would be a Beyond Sausage Biscuit, which looks funny on the screen. Maybe I'll give you a picture of it because it looks the same. It's just weird that it's a biscuit. But basically, it's they're doing it. KFC's doing it. It's just getting
a
lot more fast food restaurants.
Yeah. Now it's starting to get more into the fast food because they've had it for a little while in some restaurants, but now it's starting to get more into the fast food businesses.
So, what's your thoughts? Would you ever go to the fast food restaurant and eat an Impossible Burger? I guess, would you ever go to the fast food restaurant?
Of course I go to fast food restaurants. Do I go all the time? No. I would probably go maybe once or twice because I'm intrigued on how close, because everybody keeps telling me that these burgers they taste so close to the real burger, which to me I'm like, I just want to eat a burger, then don't just eat the burger. But if you're one of those who are about the environment and you don't want to kill animals, then that would probably be a good alternative. Or if you're trying to do like more like what I try to be more of a flexitarian, and that really is a term. Flexitarian is more of those people. They're not vegan. They're not vegetarian. They do eat meat, but they're trying to consciously not consume large quantities of meat. So I do eat. I don't eat things like that. I would eat like beans or or lentils. Yeah, more natural. Gotcha. Or I'd make my own burger out of those beans and lentils. And it would taste like a bean lentil burger. It would not taste like a burger. But if you're one of those people who, you want to be a little more conscious about the environment, maybe you'd get one of those every once in a while instead of your regular burger, just to save a few cows.
Yeah.
Or chickens, whatever you eat.
I think it depends on how often you go to fast food. Like me, I don't go very often.
That's true.
If I'm going fast food, like I'm going for the worst thing possible, basically.
That's true.
And since I don't have, I don't do it for
on a regular
environment.
Shame.
I have consciously eaten less meat. I'll admit that. I have consciously eaten less than I used to. I mean,
so you're on the border of flexitarian too. See, you're getting there.
I won't say that yet, because that's probably an insult to them if they saw how I eat. But I try to eat a little less. I used to think every meal
needs meat.
4 meals, 5 meals needs meat, or it's not a real meal. So I think a lot of people thought that way, and a lot of people are moving from that, saying, okay, maybe that's a little bit more than you need in a whole day. But yeah, moving toward that. But again, if I'm going to fast food, I'm going to fast food not for convenience, because I'll just pack something, but I'm going to get the worst thing on the menu, basically. Yes. Fries, all that. Like, then it's going down.
And the other thing, I guess, about this, when I was reading some other articles, that nutritionally, it's not that sound, and it might actually have more fat and more calories than if you ate the burger.
Yes.
Which to me was a little disheartening, because I'm like, if I'm eating vegetarian, I think people tend to think vegetarian means automatically healthy, but vegetarian just means, or vegan just means that it doesn't have any plant.
Right.
It doesn't have any animal product in it, but that doesn't mean it's healthy. Because if you technically French fries are vegan if they're fried in peanut oil or canola oil, and they're not, you don't have any fat on them, but they're still fries and they're still fried and they still have a lot of calories. So
Exactly.
You gotta be careful when you see the stuff that says plant-based or, vegan or vegetarian. I mean, don't just assume that it's healthy just because it's vegetarian.
That's a very good point.
Or it's vegan. That's not. They're not equal. The two are not equal. A lot of people do different things that they.
There's a lot of foods out there that you can eat that are vegan and
exactly
no source of animal, even egg maybe or any of that.
Yeah, they don't
Any
have
of that
eggs,
still.
no dairy. That's vegan, but they still have a lot of fat.
Plus, there's a lot of overweight vegans around, so
there are
probably just
some
as many
overweight
as
vegans. Yeah.
I like how you're messing with there are some. I feel like it's the same amount of population as, maybe not as much. Maybe enough that the health versions, but it seems like there's just as many overweight.
There can be
vegans
now,
as there are as
especially
regular people.
because people. It still comes down to processed food. If you're eating a lot of, even if it's vegan,
Yes.
if you're eating a lot of heavily processed food, because all food is processed, but if you're eating heavily processed food and it's vegan, doesn't really matter. It's still not that good for you.
Yeah.
They're just trying to sneak under the radar because they're vegan, and people think that's healthy automatically, but that's not true. It's just not true.
So if you're doing it for the environment, do it.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're doing it for weight
health?
loss, you need to find more natural things than these burgers. These could be good for every once in a while. Like, oh man, I kind of missed the taste or the feel. Now I'm curious about the KFC chicken.
That sounds disgusting. No offense, KFC, but that sounds nasty.
I was like, maybe I have to try it.
I'm like, no.
With all the hype over chicken sandwiches and all that stuff right now, trying a vegan chicken strip or whatever it is just seems a little weird.
Because it's one thing when you get a little thin burger patty, because most of those patties, at least at Hardee's, the sausage patty is kind of thin.
Right.
But I'm imagining a piece of chicken. I mean, that's a lot.
Do you bite it? There's no bone in it, so it's got to be strips, right? So I assume it's all strips.
Well, what they showed on the picture kind of looked like chicken leg pieces. So I was like, I don't know about that. But what?
Yeah.
I won't judge too hard. I already did. I was
like, you already judged.
But we'll see. Time will tell, won't it?
The other thing they mentioned was that it's fried in the same oil as the regular food. So
it's not fully vegan.
Again, it's not fully vegan because it's still in the same oils and things that the other one is. So
that's true. And
you gotta watch
doesn't
that.
Taste bad that's fried, Frying things just make things taste better. Broccoli.
That's true.
Snickers bars.
We wouldn't
Everything
do it
tastes better.
If you think about it, we would not eat bad if it didn't taste good.
Right.
There's to say, oh no, I love my carrots and my apple. This just as good as a cookie. No, you're a liar. You're a liar.
If you could fry that carrot and fry that apple, you would. It probably would taste better.
When apple's even better? When in apple pie. That's when it's better.
Okay.
Yeah. So even with that, the Whole Foods actually, CEO John McKee, I think his name is John McKee.
Sure.
They said they would not sell this Beyond Meat in their stores because, again, kind of the same things we were saying. It's a lot of. Well, let me get his actual
direct quote. And they have a very strict list of what goes in that store and what doesn't go in that store. So it doesn't surprise me that they wouldn't allow that in there. Because I was looking at the Beyond... I should look at my phone too. I was looking at the ingredient deck for that. And the 4 main ingredients are... Well, first one is water for the Beyond Burger. Because you got to have something to keep it together. Then it's pea protein isolate, canola oil, coconut oil. And then they have some other things in there, like flavors and probably some fillers too in there to keep it all together.
Right.
Yeah. So Probably the pea protein isolate. I don't know if it's non-GMO or anything, because if it's not, Whole Foods is definitely not going to take that one because they're really, really picky about that.
His direct quote: "I don't think eating highly processed food is healthy." So he's basically calling it highly processed food. I think people thrive on eating whole food. Okay, he says. As a health,
the store. No.
You're right. As for health, I will not endorse that, and that is about as big of criticism that I will do in public. So he probably has harsher words to say about
I know, that's what it sounded like.
Good grief, bro. But he's not a fan. Let's say
he takes his food seriously.
He is not a fan of that. So again, it might be a good transition. So like you're used to eating burgers and things like that. If you eat that and you do that for 6 months while you transition, I can't think 6 months out of your hopefully long life will
make it
add up to that much.
I would hope not.
But it's your choice, people. Do it for your reasons. But just know, it's not always healthy.
Right, I was just going to say that. I was like, well, just know it's not always about health. So
and it's not
you
necessarily
still have
you
to
lose
read
weight.
labels.
Anything else on that?
I think we're good.
Are you going to try one?
I actually have tried one. We had a small group of folks that shared a Whopper. I couldn't tell the difference, really. It's very similar texture. But I was like, it's a Whopper. It's got like tomato and onion and everything else on there. I mean, the burger's like this thin on there. It's, I don't know.
Again, like it's fast food. Like it's not the highest quality. So
right.
It's probably a good way to switch to the other and not notice. It's not like you're going to a fine restaurant here.
No.
No offense to them.
But I will say, when I was reading that article about Beyond Burgers at Hardee's, I did find out that they make their biscuits from scratch. So I will be trying to find out more about that. Because that caught my attention.
Of all that,
right.
Biscuits made from scratch? What? That is hilarious.
I will see you later. No.
I don't know who would say that about food. That is weird.
Okay.
All right, another quick one. Popeyes and KFC. Which one you choose?
Oh, I'd probably
overall.
Popeyes. Yeah.
Okay, you're allowed to still be here.
Well, thank you. I don't want to get pushed off this chair, so.
That's it for this one. Oh, we got to go from our sponsor. Our sponsor is Imagination Donuts. Why eat real donuts when you can imagine and not gain the calories? Don't mess up the spot.
I messed it up. Do it again, because I didn't
Imagination Donuts. Why eat the real thing when you can just imagine the calories? Actually, imagine the food and not have the calories. Want sprinkles? Your choice. Want glazed? Old fashioned are the best. What's your favorite donut, Melinda?
My favorite donut is always the old fashioned.
Old fashioned. At Imagination Donut, you can get those with 0 calories. Now, you can get a deal if you use our discount code, NotRealFat. Again, our discount code, NotRealFat. Go to imaginationdonut.com.
You are so stupid.
So cold and flu season is coming. So I wanted to look up an article that would help people, avoid as much as they could. Some people, get flu shots. But the Mayo Clinic gave 3 guidelines to follow to help prevent the flu. Some are very obvious, and some of you people avoid because you're nasty. Why are you laughing?
I'm just saying.
Number 1.
That's not me, though.
First one, people wash your hands. This might seem obvious to some, but we all have been to the bathroom and seen people walk out.
Heard people.
Yeah. It's a little bit disheartening. Because then I gotta, use my pinky to try to do it. The code, to get the door open. Or use a piece of towel. A lot of people do that.
Yep.
I just don't understand why you'd want. Why do you want to go around with boo boo hands? I don't understand that.
Boo boo hands or pee hands.
Pee hands
I don't
or
even
boo
want
boo
my
hands?
own pee on me, so I'm just like, that's okay.
And be like, hey man, how you doing? Yeah. Then you got boo boo hands on you. Didn't even know. Then you touch your eye, and then your eye turns red. Why is your eye red? Because you got boo boo in it. Because someone did not want to wash their hands.
Yes.
Everybody gonna go around looking like they have pink eye. And you think it's from the kids. It may not be. Maybe it's your coworker that doesn't wash their hands. Wash your hands, coworker, so no one gets boo boo eyes.
I agree with that, but
Sorry, that was a little too much.
Yes.
Anyways, you
because
can
E. coli is in your feces, so we don't want to spread that to people. Let's just not.
It just takes a few moments. Just a little soap. You can even use sanitizer. They said alcohol sanitizer, so you can just squirt it and wash. You know, like if you're cold, just do the same thing. If you're cold. Next one. People should contain coughs and sneezes. Now, yes, please do. Nobody wants to get showered with your sneeze. That's not the rain we want on us. Rain. Only the Christian folks will understand that one. But cover it up. Again, you don't necessarily want to use your hands because that doesn't work very well anyway. I think usually they say shoot your shoulder.
You should do your shoulder, and this doesn't count.
That doesn't count because it's still out there.
It should be covered.
You know, they used to say do the dab with.
I don't remember that one. But yeah, please don't sneeze on your hand and then touch a door.
Yeah, like.
Especially if you have the flu. That's a good way to spread it.
It just seems like common sense, but a lot of times we just don't follow it. Or we don't think about it. Maybe we're just not thinking. Maybe
or
we're
you
stuck in our own
can't
mind.
sneeze in your hand, but you then proceed to wash your hand.
Then they're all wet though. Like, do you really want, like, you gotta, it's just easier to do it here. Like, and try not to get snot on your shirt. Other than that. And be like, everybody's had that happen before. You're like, oh crap. Yes. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I gotta go.
That's why I don't be touching people up here no more. I'm like, well, we avoid that area because that's usually the sneeze area.
I remember watching a Drew Carey episode. I don't know why, but he was talking to someone, and he's like, he was like going through these codes. He was like, oh, remember to do this. Remember to do this. And he sneezed. He's like, shit. He's like, fold your leg and wipe on your sock. I just remember that episode. Random thought. I don't know.
Okay, that sounds gross.
But it got rid of it.
Yes, that's true.
So that is the other one. Contain your coughs and sneezes. The third one. It might be a little bit harder. Avoid crowds, particularly in large places like auditoriums, public schools, and public transportation. If you got kids, it's probably hard to not go to a public school. I take public transportation.
Yes.
So,
That's probably more the reason they say that, though, is because those places aren't sanitized regularly. So, years worth of germs are there. But I always wonder, too, because years worth of germs are there, is it actually because there's enough competition to keep one particular germ from getting,
like
becoming
King
dominant?
Of the Hill or something?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, is it really that bad, or? I mean, flu is a airborne virus. So I mean,
I always
just
think like
breathing
airplanes. Sorry, I said
breathe.
airplane.
No, I just took right on with you. Breathing
the airplane.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's what I think. I just think of airplanes when you think of like
recycled air.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which most buildings are too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the windows don't open nowadays.
That's true.
It's recycled air, but you hope they have a filter in there that would catch. Everybody doesn't have a HEPA filter, but
a HEPA filter.
That's supposed to really clean out better than a regular filter. I don't know if that's really true, but they cost a lot more. I know that. I hope it does what it says it does.
At least percentage wise of what it says it does. Yeah, that's a couple of ways you can do it. Now
you can also get your flu shot.
Yeah.
I do that. I know everybody doesn't agree with that necessarily.
That's true. I have never had a flu shot, actually.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories on that stuff.
I don't know if it's conspiracy for me. It's just why stop a good thing going? I've been good for the last 30-some years. Why change now? And I don't have kids, so I'm not contaminating anybody really that much.
You have children in your life. No.
I don't see them that much. I'll touch them like this. Be like, no,
just wash your hands.
Wash my hands,
Before you
which I do.
Mm-hmm.
So it all goes back to being sanitary.
It really does.
Yeah.
It does.
So, yep, that's all we got for that. Anything else you want to bring up in this episode?
I don't think so.
Again,
I like where we went today.
That was
Please
good.
wash your hands.
Yes. And like this video. If you're a hand washer, like this video. Anybody that does not like this video, because we know how many views we get. If we do not see a like for each view, I know you don't wash your hands.
You know what? Forward this video to people who
That
don't
do not
wash their hands. Then you don't have to be the mean guy that tells them that they need to wash their hands. We'll do it for you. It's a public service.
Exactly. Again, thank you to our sponsor, Imagination Donuts. And then we're out of here. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.